Hello, welcome to Furious Driving. We're over in the Barn of Dreams, the Barn of Broken and Shattered Dreams as it currently is, as 3/4 of the contents are dead, and the one car that does work, the Mini, is currently blocked in by the Freelander with the broken gearbox. So we have got the Freelander, which has got the solenoid gone in the gearbox, I believe. Limped it over here. Before I order the part though, I'm going to get underneath this thing today and just do a quick electrical test to confirm it is the right part. So that will be it as part of the next video on that car when I do finally get that bit. Got some useful diagrams to try and work out what to test to make sure I'm going to spend the right money on the right thing, not wasting time. Mini is all good, but you know, it's a bit stuck here. Tomcat needs a head gasket, so that's a winter project. Volvo though, Vayford the Volvo is yeah, it ran fine, running fine, but it does have a minor problem. On the way back from Radwood, in fact on the way to Radwood and then getting worse on the way back, the clutch is no longer operable. Well, it works a bit, but you have to pump it 3 or 4 times to get a change if you're in traffic, and boy is that wearing. So I have been on the internet and I found this, which is a clutch slave cylinder, about 35 quid off eBay. There are various options to buy these things. You can buy them from Brookwood for about 65. You can buy them from a local motor factor for a bit more than that. But they all look very similar and seem to come from, I think, the same place. So taking a chance on the cheapy one from eBay and see how quickly we can whack this thing into there. And what I should have done is read a book or something, but I didn't. So let's just crack on. Now, before we get into today's video, I just want to say an enormous thank you to Diamond Bright for their continued sponsorship of the channel. Their help obviously makes these projects possible, meaning I can go and buy the bits I need to keep things going. But I'm so happy to have them as a channel sponsor because I was using this stuff even before they were. I absolutely love it. Because I haven't got running water up here, I haven't got my 2 favourite products here, which are ceramics foam and ceramic shampoo, but we have got express wash and wax, which means you can wash your car waterlessly, even up here in a dusty, dry garage. Replenish is the best thing ever for tyres, rubbers, plastics, vinyls, all that kind of stuff. All these things you've seen me use so many times on the channel. Don't forget, if you want to try this stuff yourself, use code FD10 for 10% discount in the link below at their store. If you're going to see me over any of the shows in the next month or 2, I'm going to have some boxes of the best-selling stuff, so you can even grab a bottle from me at a show, which is fantastic. So yes, thank you Diamond Bright. Hit the link in the description. Use code FD10 for 10% off over on their web store. Fantastic. Now on with the repair. I mean, seriously, it's a clutch slave. How hard can it be? Now we have got service mode on this car because, like a Mercedes, it's got little tags here, which means you can push that little tag up. Oh, new blue brick actually. And this little tag on this side over here. There we go. Service mode entered. And that falls on you, it'll really hurt. So, this is like Bonfire of the Vanities, one enormous shot for the entire length. I thought I'd clean this after the radiator exploded, but seriously, I don't think I did a very good job. Because it is kind of on the white and coated in stuff side. Now, where is the clutch slave on this thing? It's down low somewhere. Oh, it's down there. I'll get a light. Right, so what we've got is the slave cylinder here, which is this input here goes to the feed of fluid from the pipes. This is your bleed nipple just there. So you bleed that off there. And this diaphragm bit here, which is what this bit here is, goes through the little foot arm lever on the back of it. Sits inside there somehow or other. Is attached to that. I will try and figure it out in a second. Yes. Fluid pipe, bleed nipple, arm. The only thing I'm not quite sure about is how that arm connects on the other end. We'll try and figure that out in a second. It might just be pushed in, I'm not sure. Right, first things first, let's put some penetrating oil. Oops, that went well. Put some penetrating oil on that pipe so it comes off. Now, of course, when I say penetrating oil, you know what I'm going to say I'm going to be using. Bulldog! This stuff is the bomb. It will free that off, no worries. I'm always amazed every time I use this and I say how good it is. People first of all say, is it really that good? And the answer is yes. Am I sponsored by them? Absolutely not. They refuse to sponsor anyone. They just rely on their reputation. And thirdly, people say, oh, penetrating oil can't do that. How can just squirting on a bolted up bolt undo anything? And the fact is it does. That's just how penetrating oil works. that's it. If it didn't do that, it wouldn't be a thing. Right, so let's give that a moment to undo and then undo it. What size bolt it is. Right, so naturally, whilst trying to work out what size that is, I dropped one of the spanners. Fortunately, one of the best things I spent like £2 at Lidl on was a magnetic pickup tool. Every garage needs several of them. Right, so here's the plan. Undo this bolt. See how that goes. Oh, I think that's the wrong size. That's better. Oh, this is impossibly difficult to undo. This does need to be done from underneath because it's really quite tricky. Finally managed to crack loose, and of course naturally the camera wasn't rolling and it smacked into my thumb and I got a proper cut and a bruise off that one coming loose, which is you know, one of those things. Next question is how on earth, before I undo this and dump all my fluid on the floor, because that's now, oh, let's not do it again, slackable. How does this release from here? Because it pushes, simply pushes, say simply, it just pushes through there. Is that actually connected by bolt, or is that just pushing on the back of it with a big spring kind of thing? Right, this thing is high up in the air, but it's not quite high enough, so I've got the jack. I've also got an axle stand under there. I've put my dirty trousers on because we're going underground. So I need to have a quick look. Ouch. Two things. First of all, how does this thing actually get freed off? Because I've doused it with more Bulldog, but it seems to just be a resistance. I can see now there is a what do you call it? A circlip. I couldn't see that before, and I can't see what that is back there, but I can use a camera on it and see if there's a bolt or not. So I've forgotten how good this slider thing is to crawl underneath the car, and looking at this, it looks like it is just simply a push fit in there, nothing holding it in place. Right, so let's go and find a little screwdriver to go and free off that circlip thingy-majig. Oh, okay, it's good to do with being a little higher to get the slider fully under here. Can't find the blooming thing now. There it is. Right, where's the torch? Okay, so we are going in to pull this little nubbin out. Don't appear to have a nice set of pliers up here, which is foolish. I've got a shopping list growing while I'm up here. Things I realised I haven't got and I need to go and get. That includes a couple of different socket drivers and attachments. I've got a 1/4 inch and 3/8 inch socket driver, but I've only got 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch sockets up here because I've not collected all the bits and bobs I need, and I need actual pliers to do that. Hang on. I have some needle nose pliers in the car. Will they do the job? No, they won't. I've got a bigger pair of mole grips. Will they do the job? Ouch. What the hell's that? I'm being dripped on by something down here. Oh, oil. Excellent, that's good. I know this car does juice a bit of oil out of the sump, so I'm trying not to get my head under that. Now one half is freed off, the other half decidedly not freed off. There we go. Question is, how on earth am I going to free this damn thing completely without the correct tool? There's a little screwdriver gone, there we go. Okay, well that's partially off in a not particularly useful way. I do really like the slider, but it puts you very high sometimes. And my light's attached to it now. There we go, it's free. Oh, that's leaking a lot of fluid. I'm guessing that's why I'm losing clutch pressure. I don't know if you can see that or not. Circlip is around there. Clutch fluid is leaking out of there. You shouldn't be doing that. Let's see if I can get this thing off. I think I just missed a really good leakage. Oh, that's all just fell out of the rubber gaiter. Let's move the camera back a wee bit. So if I can actually free this thing off now. I'll wash my hands first. Right, okay, let's give it some gentle persuasion taps to free it off. I have doused it already in Bulldog from the top. Ouch, not from the bottom yet though. It's got no movement in it at all. That's pretty pointless because that's hydraulic. So if I hit that, it's just going to cushion it. It's not going to do anything at all. I can find something to catch those drips. Right, I've done a quick Google or search on how to free or change a Volvo 740 clutch slave in case I'm missing something here. And basically all you do is remove that circlip and then pull out the clutch slave. However, it is absolutely welded in place. So I've doused it in a bunch more Bulldog, using a jack handle to get some distance on it. Wellying the stuff out of it from top and from bottom. Try and shock and lube it free. And I've been online and searched, and all anyone says is, well, it should just slide out, but if it doesn't do the things I'm doing, whack it with stuff. Oh, you know, I might have to come back and use extreme heat on this. I haven't had to use extreme heat on anything for a while, but this might well be a case of heat extraction tool. Right, I've been and found the farmer and enlisted some heavy artillery in the form of a proper lump hammer and a proper bar of metal with serious undoing powers. If this fails, it'd be good to get a hammer on the other side of this to and reverse the shock. All right, let's do a couple from underneath and see if I can free it. Right, even the persuader isn't working. It means I've got one option left, and that is go home, get the heat extraction tool, and come back and apply serious damage to this thing. Right, I am back here, radio off so you don't get any copyright music bothering you. Right, I've gone and got my own gentle persuader from home. I've gone and got, more importantly, the heat induction kit. So I'm going to wrap this coil around the slave cylinder and see if I can make this thing hot enough to come off, because it is driving me crazy now. 5-minute jobs, eh? Who needs them? Right, so get this thing around here. Ideally, don't want to be touching it, but in this situation, you can't really avoid it too much. Let's get it around there and basically get the thing as hot as possible. And hopefully I can whack it with a hammer and it'll fall off. This has been heat cycled thousands of times. Been coated in road salt, dirt, grime, corrosion. It's basically bimetallic corrosion in there, good and proper. And I have got a fire extinguisher on standby just in case. Right, let's get this thing a bit warm and then I'll whack it with a hammer. Right, okay, let's move this out of the way. And while that is still hot, hit it with, I think that's freeing off actually. Above, ouch. I think that's kind of free now. Did you see this or not? A demonstration of the movement is moving. Hurrah! Now I just need to work out how on earth to actually take advantage of the situation and make the thing come out. Because it still don't want to come out very far. Lack of suitable drift, so I'm trying to tap this thing out. I haven't really got anything I can use to aim it in here. I'm getting sprayed with brake fluid as well. A bloody mess. I'm dripping with blood here, but it's not. It's fluid. At home I've got dozens of potential suitable drifts, but over here it's all a bit minimalistic. I haven't even got anything I can wedge in there and twist. I haven't got a crowbar over here. I've got crowbars at home, but again, not here. So it's quite loose, it just won't pull out. The fluid is literally pouring out. I'm amazed I was able to even drive it as far as I did. The amount of fluid that's pouring out of this thing. It's on my face. Lucky I've got my safety goggles on. Another important point, always wear your safety goggles. That is really rusty, that stalk. In case that's stuck on there. Oh, sprayed again. Well, it's coming, slowly. There's more bulldog on there to release it. Work its way through there. Seriously, this is just the most stuck pig I've ever seen. I mean, all that whacking, I've basically managed to get it out about a centimetre or so. Not even that, I don't think. So the best screwdriver I have here in the garage or the barn is about to become a suitable drift. Oh, or an unsuitable drift possibly. It doesn't want to. Hey, it's free! Oh my God, what a mess. Oh dear me. I thought that was never coming free. Okay, right. Let's try and free this bit off. Yep, that's out. Oh, what a bloody mess. Now let's get the new one in there quickly. That's losing a lot of fluid quite fast. I'm going to try and put this down on the ground and do it from above because I think it's a bit easier, to be honest. Find the old one, which is down here, and it's basically finger tight on the hose. Oops, that cardboard is now saturated. Lovely. The new one, interestingly, didn't come with all new washers and that kind of thing, so let's reuse the old ones, unfortunately. If I screw this on here, though, that should then stop pouring liquid everywhere. We can unhasten ourselves a tad. Get that clean first of all. I'll give that a little wipe inside there as well. Can you see my arms now? I'm sure it's a really hard place to see anything. And to make this a little easier, I'm just going to give a little squirt of Bulldog just to lubricate its reinsertion. So this then goes through there. A little sticky bit sticks out the front. This is a Delphi product, by the way, so it should be quite decent. Goes into the release arm. There we go. That goes through there. And what I need to do now is figure out where on earth on the floor in this mess the circlip fell. Bear with. Do you know what? I think I might have just lost my deposit on the barn. Never mind. Here is the circlip. I'll get that off, give that a quick clean up, and then slide that on as intended. So with that inserted back in there, you'll notice that it has to fit in with the bleed nipple right on top because there's a little slot that it has to lock in place. And then you tighten it up there to stop any flow. Last thing to do is to just bleed the system, top up the brake reservoir, pump the pedal a few times with your easy bleed attached, and we are done. The only thing I haven't done is actually reattach the circlip in there because I've not got any circlip pliers, and this thing is a big boy, and I need some proper circlip pliers to do that over here. So I can't take it for a test drive anyway. The car is blocked in by a dead Freelander, but rest assured, job done. Job jobbed, Volvo functional. So that was the longest 5-minute job I've done in a while. But let's face it, never say the words, this shouldn't take long, because you know you've just scuppered yourself. You know you say that when you say those things. I should have just gone in with the expectation of disaster, and I'd have been done yesterday afternoon. But thankfully, bit of Bulldog, bit of heat injection tool, anything can be beaten. That is the takeaway from this. Even if you're a lowly amateur struggling at home or in your barn, like I am, if you've got the right tools, you can overcome and achieve pretty much anything. So yeah, be positive here, be positive. So yes, thank you for watching. This has not been the best guide on how to change a clutch slave on a Volvo 740. I mean, this is basically the same procedure as on the Rover 2000, and back when I was sort of 17, and there seemed to be a bad batch of them for a while, and I changed 4 or 5, even 6 of those things. I was rebuilding them like once or twice a year. So I wasn't particularly worried about this job. I was just amazed at how difficult that was to free. On the P6, there's a pair of, I think, 1/2-inch headed bolts that hold it in place on the side of the gearbox bell housing. That's a great idea, but circlips are horrible. Please, manufacturers, don't use circlips. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I do hope you've enjoyed. If you're looking around the barn, you'll notice the banner that came in the last junk in the trunk is now on the wall. I picked up a big flag the other day when I was at a War and Peace type show. That was quite good. I thought we looked quite nice on the wall, seeing as we've got so many British cars in here. I could really do with a Swedish and an Italian flag to go alongside it. Maybe a German one as well to go with all the cars in the fleet. It's quite good because as well as being nice decoration, it dulls the echoes a bit in here as well. Right, I'm going to go and do some other stuff. I think it's nearly time to go and do school pickup time, so done just in the nick of time there. Right, so thank you for watching, and join me again next time. I won't be driving the Volvo next time because it's still stuck behind that. I've got many other jobs to do on that and that, not on that, but on stuff at home too. So yes, take care everybody, thank you for watching, and see you again soon. Don't forget to subscribe.